All right, what is good, everybody? Today is June 11th, 2023. I'm super excited, super happy and grateful, to be on the call today, having another Outlook call. I think this is going to be an interesting one. I'm going to go really fast through this. I've kind of done my analysis, my assessment ahead of time, and I got some perspectives. Go ahead and share with you guys on this call over the next 30 minutes. So rather than the full hour that we normally, go with, I'm going to be looking at just 30 minutes on this call today. So let's go ahead and jump straight into it, you guys. I'm going to share my screen. You guys let me know if you are able to see it. All right, excellent. Thank you, Tabitha. All right, cool, you guys. So this is lit. One of my favorite trading days of the month is this week, right? I typically like to trade. We always start off our week going over some of the news events for the week, just so that we don't get caught blindsided. I mostly trade just price action and market structure, but I like to be in alignment with the news. That sometimes puts you in the trade even before the news comes out, and it just pushes you further into profit, or pushes you deeper into the target that you're looking to reach. So as we see today, what I would say is today, Sunday, there's no news, as we can see. Nothing big that I'm noticing on Monday either. But then as we come into Tuesday, we get a lot of these high impact folders like the CPI news month over month and year over year. I typically love trading CPI news. It's a number that comes out, just a number. Whatever that number comes in, it's going to move the market drastically. So the CPI is a change in price of goods and services purchased by consumers. Right. So our price is changing in a positive way or in a negative way. If it's greater than the forecast, which is 4.1, then we see the dollar move into a big, how would we say, bullish pattern, right? Or maybe just one straight candle in one direction. Maybe we're already in the trade. You feel me? But on the opposite end of that, if it comes out worse, then we can see the US dollar fall. So for me, I like to look at this and understand that there's probably going to be some volatility in the dollar this week. But my goal is to try to understand where that volatility can take us to, or where the volatility can leave from, right? Like, are we going to be in like a supplier demand zone when that news comes in, so that we immediately move in the opposite direction? You feel me? But let's go ahead, and that's what I really want to see. So my focus might be Tuesday. We've got some big news: GDP month over month for the Great British Pound. On Wednesday, USD core PPI, FOMC statements. Like, it is the end of the quarter, guys. It's about to turn up. Market's gonna get crazy. So with everything as we continue on, like, our goal is to manage our risk. Right. There may be plenty of opportunities. And if we're trading with a like risk to reward basis, like mindset, and we're looking for, we come at it with a calculated plan. I believe as we close out this next couple of weeks, everybody has the opportunity to make a profit. Everybody has an opportunity to, potentially get funded with one of the platforms that we're working with and partnered with. I think that is possible for everybody with the market moves that are about to happen. So you guys, as we get started, I think that it's also important to take a look at like our previous week. You guys know how we always like to go back and look at, our previous projections, just to see if we're in alignment, right? Because if we're in alignment, then we look to continue the patterns that we had previously stated. So I want to start off with the DXY, as I always do. I'm not going to do the full breakdown on the DXY. I'm going to point out a couple of key things, and then we're going to move forward, right? So essentially on the DXY, what I want you guys to understand right now is that we have seen a peak high with this doji pattern here in the middle, peak high, right? Now we have a lower high, lower than the previous high. And now what I'm expecting, or what's possible, is that we make another lower high. We pull into this area here and then pull off, right? So we just get a small pullback. I already have it marked up, but just to kind of show you guys what I'm looking at. Pull back into here. We test structure. We test these structure levels. that are right here and here and here and here, and price falls. It continues, right? It continues the trend, right? This trend is one that we saw. We looked at this and defined it from last week. Here's the initial markup, right? And we expected that from 104.34 that the market was going to shift and we were going to see a lower level, right? So from there, as we can see, from 1437, is that what I said? I think that's what I said. It doesn't matter. 14347. All right, 14347. You know what I mean? Like, we see price come and fall in from that point. One of the reasons as to why we've seen that is because we've already identified the lower highs, but after the lower highs, we want to see the lower lows, right? This low is lower than previous lows. We broke structure. So it shows us as like a great opportunity when price moves back or buys back into the level that we originally pulled away from, if that makes sense. But what I notice now is that we are still creating these lower highs and price has done it again. This low is lower than this low. So all I want to see at this time right now is I want to see the low or the next high that we set in be lower than the previous high, right? I want to see a low come into this level here. How am I on time? That's 7 minutes on the dollar. I'm going to speed it up. I want to see price come into here and I want to see it turn away from this area. That's going to help me set my entire week. So if this does happen, I can set an alert, right? At 103.8, right? And I'm going to simply say potential sells on the dollar. All right. Scenario B. So I wrote up two scenarios on this, right? Scenario one, we buy to 103.8 to mitigate the imbalance, and then we continue to 102.5. So I believe, like I showed on my projections from last week, I believe that we can trade into this 102.5 area to come like into this structure and then turning around. That was the trade that we called. What I believe is going to happen is that now that we're in profit, I believe we're going to get a continuation and the same 102.53 that we expected is going to get hit. I like this level of structure, right? Price can buy off of there and we can see some bigger, longer. I'm trying to think about the quarter, you feel me? Like, I want to know where are we going to be, 90 days from today, right? I got to, I'm trying to come up with that 90-day plan. Like, this is the blueprint for me. Scenario B, and I might keep this one private because I'm going to give you guys my whole plan for the next 90 days. So I might keep it with everybody that's on this call right now. Scenario B, what I could expect is I could expect to see if price actually sets in here and buys and breaks above this downtrend and invalidates this. Because remember, this is only valid as long as the rules still apply. As long as the high is lower than the previous high, the rules apply. The high, the lower high, the lower high, the lower high, right? The rules still apply. If at any point it breaks through and we find to where this previous high or the current high is higher than previous highs, we now look for a change in structure. That's it. I can do that while only risking, what is this, 28 pips to the downside, right? Because I'm going to take the downside trade. But if I fail, then I'm going to switch my positions and I'll be looking to take a longer term trade to the buy side. This is actually the bigger trade, a 1 to 10. The current is a 1 to 5, 4.7, you feel me? And I believe that I like the downside better and then the upside from there, because then it gets crazy. We can find ourselves in some bigger trades, right? But with that being said, I believe that the dollar will buy to sell. So that means that I believe like pairs like NZD USD will sell to buy. So when I look at NZD USD, this is an interesting one as well, because we called the NZD USD as well last week, of course, you feel me? When we called NZD, let's see if I've got that one here as well. Oh, I got GBP. We called a few great trades. I don't even have the markup for this one, but I actually never even got a chance to get in this trade, you guys, if I can be completely honest. We called it perfectly. I felt like, this is gonna hit. My risk to reward is excellent. I set an alert, right? My alert is right here. As you guys can see, buy limit activated. I got the order on my phone so that if the order opened, if it hits my level, it's going off. So the level that I chose was 106. 0.6025, right? I missed it by probably 2 pips, maybe 2 pips, something like that, 8 pips, right? And the market has gone crazy in the opposite direction that we originally projected. And I missed the trade. And that's just how it goes sometimes, you guys. This trade itself would have been a 107 pip trade so far, right? But that's how it goes. I actually believe that I'll still get an opportunity. I don't know if I get an opportunity to get into this trade now at this level, but I think that I can see a potential buy and then maybe get an opportunity to sell from here. And then, still see that bigger trade if I wait for it. So you don't win them all. Sometimes you just listen and you learn and you watch it and you just take note of that, right? But I think that we can see a little bit higher, maybe on this NZD trade, Euro NZD. Actually, let's see, because I like this Euro NZD trade as well. So I wouldn't trade them in the same direction. We called Euro NZD, and this was a great entry. This was like a pullback. So this is just textbook, right? We have our imbalance. We break structure. We buy back in to mitigate the imbalance, and we sell off from there. This move that I believe is going to happen is a equal measured move of the previous move, right? Is an equal measured move of this first move that we caught last like 2 weeks ago, right? I believe that what's happening now is a pullback, because when we only saw this structure, I know that price needs to trade back into here, at least probably 50% of the overall move, in order to, continue a trend in a healthy way, right? We want to see price to come at least into this 50%, which is where my first take, which is where this take profit was at. You feel me? I think price can actually come below there. What I would like to see, because of the way that price action has played out, we've got new imbalances that are here. So I believe this is the new lower high. And I believe that we can pull back. Hopefully my first trade hits target and I'm out the trade, period. And then I get another opportunity. But what I believe is going to happen is we test this 50%. From there, we pull back in to retest structure. This is probably a fib that I looked at on the other side, and we get a continuation trade to the 61.8. And we potentially get buys back in this area, in this structure. That's just completely like, that's Hail Mary, you feel me? In the way that it just works out just like that. But I will pay attention to those things, and I'll probably set alerts, and I'll probably set limit orders. And this is 170, 1.763, 1.76, 1.7627. Potential sells approaching. And just to keep me alert, because I'm going to be like kind of off the charts, you guys. So this is going to be like me going and doing. I love this as well. Market's lit right now. You guys know, like, market is lit right now. So DXY, like I said, what we expect on the DXY is that we're buying to sell. Best case scenario, maybe. Another scenario, first case scenario, I'll say, another scenario is that we break above and then we continue to buy. What does that mean for USD based pairs? Number one, if the dollar index buys to sell, pairs like USD CAD will buy to sell. How drastically they buy to sell depends on more than just like, it depends on that actual currency, what's going on with the CAD. I'm not really watching the CAD, but I see this structure, and this is one of the best risk to reward trades of the week, you guys. So take a look at this. This is free game on USD CAD. If the dollar index buys to sell, what we may see is we may see the USD CAD create a bottom right here in this structure, in this zone, right? And then from there, we buy all the way back up to the top. If that happens, we're risking 37 pips for 227 pips. This is the type of trade that I open right when the market opens, right after the spreads clear, and I try to hold it the entire week, and I'm done for the week, for real, for real. That's the type of trade that this is. It can continue. There's a potential that the market doesn't just shift there and it can continue. But I did have it in my mind that USD CAD is going lower. So I think that this, yeah, that's how I'm thinking. I'm thinking about that. You feel me? Like, I think USD CAD can go lower, but I think what happens is that we pull back into this level here. We catch the big buys. And then from there, we catch the big sells. And this comes off on some next level, like, trading, and we already did the homework and it's not even no pressure, you feel me? We go to USD JPY. I'm not trading UJ this week. I don't like it. I like the pairs that when I look at it, it just makes sense to me, right? I try not to overstimulate and over like stress myself with like trying to make it make sense. The ones that make sense, I rock with them. If it doesn't make sense, I'm not going to try to make it make sense. It doesn't really make sense to me. I want to see a couple of things happen on UJ. I do believe this happens, but it's not my trade yet. I believe that there's this higher structure in here, right, where the market fell, right? I believe we have to trade back into this area here. And then once we trade into this area here, now we can look for the potential big time sells, you know what I mean? But I'm personally not going to take sells here because I believe price could turn around right now if it wants to, but I don't care to I don't like it. When price comes up here, I set an alert. 141, look at that. That's almost perfectly 141. Sells approaching. What time is it? All right, let me see if I can wrap up in 13 minutes. Because this is enough already. This is all I'm gonna do for the whole week. And I'll keep you guys updated on how it goes. Approaching. And we're gonna keep it rocking. Let's go. All right. Euro JPY. Euro JPY is that, yo. Euro JPY is, yo. I'm gaining a newfound appreciation for a couple of pairs. Euro JPY is one of them. I've been killing it, guys. Yo, I'm really getting in my flow for real. Like, I see a lot of things playing out over this next 90 days, like slow motion. We got big reasons why. Euro JPY was one of the ones that I was able to see this on the daily time frame, right? We were able to come in and notice that this high is lower than this high. It's the same game, you guys. And oh, so subtly, we came into structure and price pulled off. But if we look at this on like the line chart, sometimes I like to get a different perspective, right? Just so I can see the little plays. When I looked at this, I realized that this low is actually higher than the previous low on like the line chart. When I look at it on the candles, it gets confusing with all of these wicks. But when price came in, we actually took buys on Euro JPY into this area here. And now when we created these lows, we take the sells from there. And the expectation is that price probably trades down into this level here, does something like this. Ooh, ooh. And then we get the trade in both directions. It can be very easy, guys. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like that's where we are right now, kind of just getting into that flow state. And I know the people that are plugged into the private groups, like the inner circles and the, VIP groups, I know they're crushing it right now. But Euro JPY is another one that I believe price can pull back though. That's the thing. Sometimes I don't like trading these wicks. Sometimes these wicks are like the perfect entry and they're the ones that came to give you like, that seller's candle, but, or whatever the case may be, and price never goes back. If it never goes back, I would rather be in at the end than here. Maybe this is a pullback and I use like my fibs to line it up and I go ahead and I'm like, okay, cool. Does it do, 61.8? Yeah, it rejects, that's awesome. But what I personally really like is I love entering on full body candle closures. Right. So if I get like a full bottle a full body candle closure, say that 5 times fast, a full body candle closure, price pulls up into here and it retraces this would obviously probably be a blue candle maybe, but it retraces this previous wick and it closes like that. And then we get another candle that's like bigger. This could happen over the daily, over the 4 hour, or whatever the case may be. It don't, you know what I mean? I would love to get into the trade right here. So if it pulls back, even if I was in the trade, which I'm not in the trade anymore, I called the trade, but I'm not personally holding it at this time right now. But even if I was in the trade, what I would expect is I would expect to hold my original positions here and then to re-enter right here. I'm going to be looking for this re-entry position, you guys. I had got out, end of the week, and it might be 50 pips, and I might do something like this. And we just are waiting for price to push into the lows. All right, let's see. 9 minutes. Where am I? Yeah, we're doing great. This is great timing, you guys. I'm going to wrap this call up. This would be a fire trade. Did I already set an alert? Look, sell, pull. Wow, did I already do that? Did I do? You know what? I think this is another alert that I called that never got executed. Woo! Yo, I don't think I ever actually got this alert because it was like, I might have missed it by a pip. Oh, Lord, look at this. That's beautiful. Look how close that is. I would have already had that re-entry. I think I have a sell limit open already. But I never got the alert. So that's another one. You know what I mean? Sometimes that just happens and you can't be mad at it. You just be like, yo, those aren't my pips. Maybe it comes back for me. Maybe it doesn't. Who cares? Anyways, so we got GBP JPY, yo. This is another one, you guys. I missed this trade also, actually. These big buys. I missed these big buys. I'm super enthusiastic about GJ, though. I think I can come up with like a finesse trade. But I expected to see price come back into this structure, right? I wanted to see these lows taken out. And I wanted to see price casually come in here, but not break these lows and then to turn around and to turn up. Or even, what was I saying? Like to buy back into this level here. I felt like it was going to turn around, like when I saw this first break, and it never turned around. So the fact about it is there's still liquidity below these lows. And I like that. You know what I mean? So I don't know if price pulls, if it does, it would be madness if price pulls all the way back from here, because I really want to see like these lows get swept. I think it would be the most subtle, casual, incredible thing. If it's possible, super optimistic on that. I'm not really watching it like that, but yo, if this happens, legend. I'm gonna look for the opportunity just as well. I'm gonna keep it on the list. GU, I have a new appreciation for GU, guys. Like, yo, man, oh man, we had a good time with GU this past week. I called this trade with like, oh, is it zoomed in? Ooh wee. All right, what is that? 1.237, 1.2346, 25 pip stop loss on this trade. We called sells on the dollar, so we took buys on everything else. GBP USD from last week is looking phenomenal. Look at that. Look at that. Let me pull that picture back up for you guys so you guys could really appreciate this. Let me pull that picture back up. Appreciate it. So we're on the 4-hour time frame on GBP USD. Essentially what we saw this even before the blue candle came about. We're in the wick, you guys, and I called this one in the group. So for GBP USD, we called this trade when it was bearish, quote unquote, right? Bearish, right? Big bear candle. We got, oh no, too fast, gotta slow it down. 5 minutes, 6 minutes. I got 6 more minutes to wrap this up, and I would be perfectly fine spending all this time on just GU because it was worth it. GU and EU. But what we get is we get a pull. There we go. That's cool. We get a pullback. Dang it. I wanted to stop that though. All right. I'm not going to do this too much longer, guys. I just really am appreciating this. So I've got this on my other screen, and we bought in all red candles. But when we bought, we realized that where we start to pull away from is a low that is higher than the previous low. It's respecting this, right? It's like, yo, I came with that pressure, like I came with that force. But when he saw the force that was in front, like he is like, okay, cool. Like this is the whale, right? He's like, this is the whale. So we end up taking the trade here, right? And what we see is we see price buy back into at least the highs, right? We're always trading to at least the previous highs, which are right here. Bum, bum, bum. Yeesh. Yeesh. You guys, crazy, 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 crazy. And my target is the high, right? And I want to make another high. I want to make another high, but I don't want to oppose this ultimate high. This is the big guy. This is the high. You feel me? I don't want to push against him, but I wanted to go at least to this area. Let me annotate this. At least to this area, maybe right here, at least here. Bump, bump. But what we got is this. So now, as long as my stop loss is below him, this is our low, and this can be a lower low that sends the market down from there. So let's go ahead and we'll continue just quickly. I told you guys this was going to be a fire call because this is a fire call. And I'm going to keep it private. I'm going to share this recording in just the inner circle and then the VIP groups that are associated to Driven. I'm going to show people how they can get funded, you know, how they can get $100,000 in funding to trade with, you know, all those great things. But this trade, you guys, is 200 pips. And we're coming to our entry here. And I believe we could get sells from there because I want to see GBP USD on a daily time frame fall to this level. Just off of these trades, you guys, that I'm going to call publicly, people can get funded $100,000. You feel me? Like using these prop firms and using these different systems. I might take a second and show you guys a prop firm account that's been worked. Just using perfect risk managed. Oh, see, it's not meant to. You guys can't see that right now. But I might show you guys. But I want to see GBP USD fall into these levels here, you guys. Next we have, oh no, let me pull up the picture first. Let's see, because I got a Euro USD as well. Euro USD, easy money. We have structure, right? Easy, easy, easy. I hope you guys are getting value from this call, even though I'm going fast. We got structure. This is ugly. Structure, right? Structure, downtrend, broken. Woo. Yeah, I get that. Those are bars. That's, y'all, you feel me? If y'all get that, let me know. Y'all get that, let me know. This is for Euro USD. Somebody say something in the chat. What we see on Euro USD is that we have a downtrend here. Downtrend, right? This is on the daily time frame. So this is really strong. Now we have downtrend, broken, bullish engulfing candle, right? Sometimes this is big game, you guys. I'm going to keep this one private. Sometimes I will use, I like to count candles. You feel me? When I say I count candles, I mean like I look at the engulf and I count the candles that it engulfed, right? And I tell myself that this one day erased the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. It's been 6 days of selling, and you tell me one candle is the big dog that comes in and says, nah, yo, you might be a whale, right? So now we come in and we pull back into this level here. And I took a really tight stop loss on this one because I'm like, yo, this is all risk to reward on Euro. And the thing is that I could see this on the day. This is the daily. So now if I can pull it back on the 4 hour and then the 1 hour and try to get that entry, this is how it comes out for our entries for Euro USD on the daily time frame. Remember, this is the candle that broke structure, right? Price pulls back in. Let me bring that back up for you guys just really quickly. We're gonna hop off of this call. Let's see, where did I close it? I might have closed it out. Yep, it's gone. I ain't pulling it back up. All right. So this is the candle that pulls back in the structure, right? This is the one that breaks. When you saw this on the screenshot, the reason why I wanted to show it to you is that this candle was actually another bearish engulf. Like it was a all red candle, but it turned around. We get entry and price literally shoots up from there. So this is a trade on the daily, which means at this current time, we're 70 pips into profit already, right? Before the week's even started. We're already in profits. Just remember that if you don't close your trade, if you hold the trade, like you're still in profit. So the next thing that ends up happening is that we actually see price come and break structure, recreate a high that's higher than the lower previous high. People don't normally see that. And then price trades back into structure. If we get this break above here, bum, bum, and a pull back into here, guys, yo, we are going at least to this next high, at least here. You feel me? Off rip, off rip. This is a beautiful setup for this week as well. I'll be watching that also. Euro GBP. Yo, I'm so grateful for Euro GBP. Man, this thing has been testing my patience. Oh my goodness. Like it's been testing my patience, but it's oh so smooth. It's so smooth, but it's so slow. It's the most boring thing ever. But if you watch Euro GBP, it's going to tell you everything that you need to know about all of the GBP pairs and the Euro pairs. So this is what's going to help me to confirm what I was saying on some of those other pairs, right? First thing on Euro GBP, we came in, same thing. We create this is the big giveaway. All these wicks here, this is unreal, yo. The fact about it is price will eventually come back here. That's the real trade setup. Price, I don't know if I could share this call. This call is crazy. Yo, price will eventually come back there. But what I notice here is that on that pullback, what we get is we get the high, and then we get a high that's lower than the previous high off rip. So we know that. But now we see that it trades back into structure, right? And it trades into this area here. So we see a fall here, we see a fall here. This gives me the first level, the higher level of my structure. I now see a fall here, the floor here, and the floor here. That gives me the bottom of my structure. Now price pulls back into this area here, and we see how it pulls away from it, right? And I end up getting an entry right here on Euro GBP, and I realize that I'm trading in this box number one. That's the first thing that I realized. People don't understand how powerful that is. To understand that you are trading in the box is not a negative thing. Sometimes people can be like, yo, it's restricting, like we want to wait for the breakout. But what if I'm trading from the box and I see every time it gets to the top, it sells. Every time it gets to the bottom, it buys. Every time it gets to the top, it sells. Every time it gets to the bottom, it buys. It may be slow and boring, but it's easy money every time. So now what if I sell at the top of the box and it falls to the bottom of the box and it pulls back again, and then it falls and it finally breaks through, it breaches. Now I'm in the trade before the breach and I'm the whale. You feel me? Like now I'm in the whale candle. That's what I've shown you guys on this call today. So what happens from there is that price retests, right? The bottom of the box, because this area is important. 1, 2, 3, and then 4, right? And then we fall back in to test the previous whale that broke the structure or that created the move to the upside. And we know that we're buyers until the whale gets taken out. So the whale gets taken out because there's, oh no. What did I do? Let's see. All right. Yeah, don't want to mess that up. All right, anyways, so if you guys look at it, the exact same thing that we were just trading, watch this. I'm going to show you something. It's going to be a duplicate, and I'm going to wrap this call up with Naz, and we're out. 5 more minutes. This is overtime. So we have the bottom buys, bottom buys, bottom buys, and then we have where price comes through, breaches, and then it comes to the upside, bomb, smooth, right? We come and we test this structure here. But now imagine if the market does the exact same thing again, and we have the bottoms buys, the bottoms, buys, the bottoms, buys, and then we get the candle that breaks structure. What should happen? The same thing that happened before. And if you guys look at it, I want you guys to notice this as well. So even though price broke through 1, 2, 3, because there was more downside than upside, even though price broke through, this is the same area where you see that doji and you see blue candles come in, because he is somebody that you got to respect him. You feel me? This candle right here. Even if you got some more pressure coming through, like, you got to respect him. So what's going to end up happening next, just out of like a show of respect, is you got to come and see the next big dog. You know what I mean? You got to come and see the next big candle, which is down here. That is our targets. He could take him out, but me, I don't believe it happens. I actually feel as though we get one of the biggest setups ever, being patient and just chilling. When I see these levels getting broken, it's not because I'm like, oh yeah, you know what, my downside trade is hitting, you know, whatever the case, because I've closed out this trade as well. But what I understand now is that I've got a huge potential for an upside trade that turns around right here at the bottom of this. Crazy, guys. This will go so crazy. Like, and I'm going to show you guys how to take these on funded accounts, and how, you know, I'm going to try to see what we really can do using proper risk management and just trading the plan. And I'm going to show you guys live exactly how to do it. Then we got NAS for the people who, you know, are rocking, which a lot of the people that are on this call have been closely involved. NAS, I believe we get downside, maybe starting off Q3. I would wait for the quarter to close. So my NAS trade is actually, for me, because you guys know I like to take one NAS trade a month, and I like to just hold it. And if it hits, it hits, and if it don't, it don't. But I'm going to be looking to see if we get the massive sell-offs of the market starting Q3. So the end of this month, in the next 10, 15 days, trying to see like where things actually line up. For the short term, I think I see some buys coming on NAS, buys above this structure here. We might have price pull back into here, and then this is where we create a new high and price pulls back, and then we get buys into here, and then we get the sells, right? But the risk to reward isn't it for me. I'd rather just wait on the sells. The sells gonna be the play for real. But that's it. That's all I got for you guys. I'm super excited. I'm about to go head to the airport, go pick up my pops. So I'm super excited about that as well, you guys. I'm going to be in the group, but I might be a little bit more, you know what I mean? I might not be in there as often, you know, as I usually am. But if you guys, oh, you guys are talking in the group. I didn't even notice that. But yeah, if you guys are, you got value from this call, go ahead and just drop something in the chat. And I'll catch up with you guys all soon. I'm going to post this group. I'm going to share this video just in our private group, I believe. Patrick, I got Patrick and JR. Yeah, you guys reach out, man. It's Wall Street Wale on Telegram. I definitely would love to connect with you guys and just talk about, like, you know, what your trading journey has been like and how everything is progressing, see if there's any value that I can provide. But I hope you guys have a great